children are expected to utilize the techniques that they already know for solving problems, and to do it as much as possible without the intervention of the adult. However, if they have been working on it and it's not working out very well, they maybe have come to, well, okay, the next time you get upset, this is what you're going to do, and the next time they get upset, that doesn't happen. So we have a book, and the children write down items that they feel need to be brought to the group. And so whenever the group meeting occurs, then whoever is, and again, the kids always will see their job charts up everywhere, and they have rotating jobs. So whichever child is running the agenda meeting for the week, we'll get out the book and say, okay, I see here, item number 1 on the agenda is, even though we all talked about making sure that the pencils, if the pencils were not sharp, we would take care of it and put them back in sharpened instead of leaving all the ones that weren't sharpened in there. It's not happening. What are we going to do about it? And so different issues get brought up to the group. And it may be something that's, a whole group issue, or it may be a hassle between 2 kids. That's been going on, and they've been trying to work it out. Maybe they've been working with the teachers to work it out. And, somebody's going to, one of those children may bring it up, or somebody else in the group may, say, all week long, these 2 have been at each other's throats. This is really a problem. It's distracting to me, and I don't like it, and we have a peace table. How come they're not solving their problem? Looks like we need to help. And again, these children who are in this sensitive period for fairness and how this should be dealt with, they will, stand up and seriously attempt to resolve whatever the issue is, and they'll all come up with their ideas of what should happen. Often they are far more punitive than any adult would ever be, because first of all, these are kind of earth-shattering things that are going on for them, where we look at them from a different perspective. But it gives all of the children the understanding that how they behave does affect other people. And it also gives them the opportunity to say their piece, too. The person who may be the offender has the opportunity to defend themselves to their peers, not to try to make up an excuse to a grown-up, but to try to explain where they're coming from to their peers. And maybe if their peers better understand how they're feeling, they may be more able to accommodate for some of the stuff that's going on. I've been in meetings where somebody has said, broken down in tears and said, well, my big brother has been picking on me all week long, and I just, and all of a sudden all his friends are, oh, it's okay. It's okay. We understand. That happens to us too. Tell us about it. We can work it out. And I mean, some really beautiful kinds of moving to new levels of relationship can happen because of these little meetings, group meetings. And you have a book here, right?
Yeah, so in my classroom we have what I call a harmony book. So if something is troubling you and you've tried to solve it and it still isn't working, so it can be a conflict with a single person, or the room is always messy, or it can be anywhere from this certain person is doing this, all the way to this classroom thing isn't working for me. You write it in here, and I can I'll just leave it out over there on my piece table. The idea is you write your name, but you don't write anyone else's name, because first of all, if you say this person specifically is doing this thing, then it's going to be, well, no, I'm not, and it's going to be back to that. But instead, when you leave it anonymous, you can say it's easier to feel like if anyone were doing this to you, what would we do? So every Friday, I get this out, and I read through any new entries for the week. You can write this anytime. And I'll say, if the person is here, I'll say, okay, so, Joey, your friends left you out of a pin map. Is that still an issue? And if it's not, you just write solved. And if it is still an issue, we come up with 3 ideas, like, okay, what can we do so that this doesn't happen the next time? So we get ideas, I write them down, and then we wait a week on all those ideas. So I'll go back to that person, I'll say, is this still happening to you? And they'll say, oh no, that worked, or oh, we got over it, or whatever. And so now, having done this for a few months, it's easier to go back and, before you write your problem, has someone else had this problem? And if they did, how did we solve it? And so, they'll go back and take advice from this book. And it's not perfect. I mean, sometimes we've had to erase ones where, just someone writes a note to someone else and there's names all over it, whatever. But it's great. I'm sure a day will go by and something is just stuck in their mind. That thing that happened at 8:05 was so unfair, and that was, and 3 hours later, how come you're online or whatever, and they're just thinking about that thing that happened 3 hours ago, and that it made me so mad, and then at least here they can write it down. A lot of times, someone will kind of elbow me when I'm giving a lesson, or whatever, and they'll say, I wrote the harmony book, and I'll check it out. And, we save it till Friday, but if I read it and I think, oh man, that's it. They can't stop thinking about this thing. I'll talk to them, and then we'll bring it to the whole group on Friday, and that feels good to them to have a concrete voice.
It gives them recourse. And also, when you write it down, you can let go.
Can you read some entries?
Yeah, I was going to ask him to do that. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
this
sure.
is. This one here. This is.
So these three girls said, someone feels left out of a play. We gave ideas, but none work, and she cried. It also made her not want to do the play. One idea is to take a break from the play. And so by the time we talked about this, that they had fixed that.
Figured that.
We had one, why do people put their jackets on top of the blue bin? And the idea for that was we should... So we only had one idea, and that was put a sign on the blue bin that says, don't put your stuff here. And so that one, we'll review that tomorrow. One says, someone said she did not want to be my friend, now I don't want to talk. Also, I'm sad, still a week after. My mom doesn't like it when we don't send flyers home.
Yeah, what's the response to the one where so-and-so doesn't want to be my friend? Yeah.
That girl was absent last Friday, but they'll write again. So it says, now someone is saying, no, I did not say that. I feel like I'm stupid. And she was
Stupid,
here. And
STOOPID.
yeah. And, so I said, is that still a problem? And a lot of times those interpersonal ones, they'll write it in there right after the
big event.
Yep. And by that Friday, they've kind of worked it out. And it's nice when the heat's gone back down to say, is that still happening? Are you still being called stupid? And if they are, well, absolutely, you're going to deal with it. If they called you stupid on Tuesday and you're still thinking about it on Friday, big time, we're going to have a big talk about that. And if you're not, then it helps you see, oh yeah, that was just like this thing that came up between us, and they called me stupid.
And we worked it out, and maybe it isn't so gigantic. Being able to put it down, having a place to go and put it down and have it be concrete and know that it's respect. Knowing that your feelings are being respected, that they're honored. Nobody's saying you shouldn't have those feelings or forget it, let it go, or whatever. It's saying, this is me, this is how I feel. And we're all saying, here, it's okay. We agree.
Can I just ask a kind of specific question?
Yeah.
I'm getting the sense that most of those are girls.
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting boys writing in there, especially because I specifically have a boy in your class who, I don't know how comfortable he is writing on his own.
Yep.
Same with us three.
Yeah. Well, this whole page.
Do you have kids coming up to you saying, "Can you help me write it?" Because I can see, he's so wanting to write correctly that I could see him being a nerve to approach it by himself.
Well, this whole page is boys.
I'm sorry, we can't reveal that information.
But this says, well, this is a name, but it's, me and Ethan were playing dodgeball, and the game, it was,
They kicked me.
everyone got out, and after that,
It's Ethan S. It's not even
Well, okay, I don't get all the words.
But they can read their own
Sounds
to
like
you.
nobody wanted to
But
play anymore.
they'll come in. There's, I mean, this week especially,
That's really cute.
just the way, I don't know.